Vijay Sankaran. It's a pleasure to be with you to hear more about your keynote at Sensors Converge in June. You serve as CTO at Johnson Controls, so I'm sure you'll have all the answers. Can you offer us a hint of what you'll be saying? Your title is The AI Revolution in Smart Buildings.
Well, I think, Matt, it's appropriate that the name of the conference is Sensors Converge, because if you think about it, sensors are all around buildings now, and really looking at, how spaces are being utilized and where people are sitting as we have hybrid work arrangements. And then at Johnson Controls, we have really been the leaders in HVAC inside of the buildings as well as other devices. And so when you bring all of this data together and you apply AI and machine learning on top of it, and then you generate recommendations on how those spaces can better be optimized using autonomous smart control inside of the building, that's how AI transforms the building experience with data and all kinds of information that gets generated in the building. And that's what my talk at Sensors Converge will be all about.
Oh, that's good. For average people, what is Johnson Controls? You already gave us a little bit of a hint there, but I know it's a lot more than thermostats.
Well, we are all about smart building solutions. And so that can be anything from, highly efficient HVAC systems and control systems inside of the building. So think, chillers really supporting the cooling needs and the heating needs through boilers inside of the building, through advanced technologies there, through control systems that control every aspect of your building, and security systems. So we have a very strong product portfolio. And then on top of that, we layer services and solutions, which includes digital solutions like our OpenBlue Smart Building Solutions platform that helps optimize the building with all of the data that it receives from inside that building. So we provide a full portfolio of solutions to really manage all aspect of the building lifecycle, from product, services, and solutions.
Okay, I didn't know it was that comprehensive. That's wonderful. What did the customers think of all this? I mean, compared to 2 years ago, has their interest in energy efficiency, for example, really grown?
Absolutely. I mean, two of the big vectors of growth that we see are, number one, energy efficiency, and then secondly, around net zero, with a lot of target setting going on to reduce global emissions. There's an actual interesting interplay between energy efficiency and reducing carbon emissions. So if you reduce energy consumption and you change the mix of the type of energy that you use, you can also reduce your carbon emissions. So there's a lot of interest in that. We're a global company, and so all around the world, there's an interest in driving energy efficiency, especially as energy prices continue to rise, as well as a sensitivity towards, the emissions that are being generated from inside the buildings. And so we see a lot of interest in those two areas of solutions.
Yeah, that would make sense. What did the customers get in terms of cost savings? If you have a big platform or even a part of a platform, I mean, where's the big payoff with efficient lighting? How would you describe it?
Yeah, if you think about it, the chillers and boilers and air handling units, they generate a lot of energy inside of the buildings. You could say probably somewhere between 25 to 30% of the energy generated inside of buildings comes from HVAC in the building. And so what we do with our platform is that we'll come in and study all the utilization patterns inside the buildings. And then once we have analyzed that data using AI, we can actually make real-time recommendations around how you optimize that space by, reducing the cooling output or the heating, depending upon how many people are occupying the space. And that in general can yield somewhere between 10 to 20% in savings. And so it's a pretty big deal, when you look at the amount of utility consumption that a lot of these larger buildings, and especially people who have large portfolios of buildings, are looking at on an annual basis that nearly offsets the cost of what we charge for the software.
Yeah, that's great. I guess what I wonder on the AI role, Would ChatGPT, and I'm sorry, generative AI fit into what you're doing with AI? Can you talk about the products, the role of AI in your products?
Yeah, I mean, there's a tremendous role for generative AI in everything that we're doing. As you think about service technicians who service the buildings, as well as our customers who want to know more about what's going on inside of buildings or local legislation that tells you what kind of utilization you can have in buildings. A lot of those involve like going through lots of documents to figure out what's going on. And so through generative AI and leveraging data that's coming into the building and from the building about your personal situation, we can marry that up against documentation around how to fix, equipment fault in the building, or how we can, really recommend specific conservation measures to improve how that building can be optimized, or even whether you're in compliance with a local law, like a local law 97 in New York City. And so, really, what our generative AI plans include is taking the data that's coming from the building, really marrying up those fault codes, those trouble codes with mountains of service manuals that we've compiled over the years on, different equipment types, and actually proactively being able to serve up recommendations to our technicians about, how the buildings can be further optimized. So kind of taking the mystery out of troubleshooting and triaging, and actually serving up, real English examples of how customers can improve the efficiency and health inside of their buildings.
Sounds pretty fascinating. Hey, thank you very much, Vijay, for these great insights. I'll see you and hope to see all of the rest of you in person at Sensors Converge. It's June 24th through 26th in Santa Clara. Thanks.
Wonderful. Thanks so much, Matt.